Um, Good evening, friends. I'm so glad to come back to you again. Uh, Today I'm going to bring you something very interesting. I hope so. Something perhaps a bit controversial, but I believe that it's going to have some light. It's going to throw a lot of light. As usual, my name is Sakau, whichever. And I'm sharing with you experiences of my encounters with my Muslim friends. Today, I want to share with you an experience I had many years ago that gave me an understanding, and then another one I had probably just about a month ago. So there's going to be a fusion of time here and there, so you pardon me. What happened was, let me warn that this post may be long. I may be tempted to break it into two so that maybe we'll have part one and two. Yeah, whichever. Permit me to start by saying that I had a debate a very long time ago, and the people who organized this debate obviously my cousins. They organized the debate. It appeared as if it just one or two people that had a question to ask me. And so I drove like 4 hours to go to a particular city where they organized the debate. I was never apprehensive of anything. And when I went, thankfully, God led me to carry, I think, two or thereabout other brethren with me, people that somehow like I was mentoring or who believe in what I was doing. So we traveled together to that particular city. But God gave me wisdom to hide my car somewhere. So I kept my car in a particular place they didn't know. And then I trekked to the venue of the debate to find out that they probably had about 6 sheikhs that had traveled from different parts of the country to be there. And then I also noticed that we had an audience that I think so, that were mostly Muslims. I understood that they were probably close to 2,000. So, and what was it? The debate was to focus on the topic of Jesus and Muhammad, who is Savior. Oh dear. I don't want to bother you about what happened in that debate, but one of the categorical statements I made was that there was no basis for comparing Jesus and Muhammad, no basis whatsoever. I may continue on this particular reasoning in some years to some posts in the future, but for now, permit me to say that I simply said to them there is no basis for comparing Jesus with Muhammad. And when I watch Islamic apologetics, Christian apologetics, you see them you see a lot of energy, trying to argue out their points as to no, this is who Jesus is, and then the Muslims are saying no, this is who Jesus is. I have come to make a discovery This discovery, I made it just about a month ago. The discovery I made is that there is a identity, there is a mistaken identity of the person of Jesus. So while the Muslims are arguing that this is who Jesus is, the Christians are also arguing that this is who Jesus is. And all along, I think for me, I feel that there's no need for that energy at all. No need for that energy if we understand very well. What happened was recently there's a Muslim friend of mine. We were mates in the university, and then we have not met physically probably for the past 33 years, but we met online, and he was so excited. I had no idea that we were even wonderful friends. He made me to realize how much he loved me, how much he had respect for me, how much he valued our friendship. He made it clear that way. And he started following me on Facebook. But not quite long, he made me uncomfortable posting the many stuff I normally want to post, going by my style. But then I woke up one day, I said, no. I have a lot of cousins that are Muslims, relatives, and a lot of friends. None of them is complaining about what I'm posting. So why would this one, who is just emerging today, want to put moderation to what I'm posting? I just ignored him. Then after a while, he now started complaining. Look, I have respect for you. I don't like the things you're posting. These are things that you're posting that I must confess that they don't go down well with me. You are attacking our holy book. You are attacking my prophet. And so I decided that, look, I need to engage him. And so upon engaging him, I made a very, very important discovery. The discovery I've made is that there is a big mistake. There seems to be a big mistake of a problem of identity. The Jesus that they are talking about, I may be wrong, but since I'm going to make an exhaustive post, just be patient with me. The Jesus that the Muslims are talking about is not the same Jesus that we're talking about. We differ. I have a reason to believe that they're talking about somebody entirely different. I will explain. Just be patient with me, I'm going to explain. Let me say something very categorical here. Why I think there's a mistake in identity. For your information, if you are listening or watching me and you never knew that in first century Judea, that name Jesus was very common. It was a very common name. So you could find a lot of people bearing that name, Jesus. A lot of people used to bear that name, Jesus. So when you mention Jesus, it's simply that it's peculiar to the central figure of Christianity. And then you would think, once they say Jesus, they are talking about your Jesus. The purpose of this post is to explain why I think that there is a problem of mistaken identity about the Jesus that some people will be talking about, or Muslims will be talking about, and the Jesus that we Christians are talking about. It's important that you take note of that. That is what I observe. I found out that one of the reasons that, one of the persons that was called Jesus, you remember that the people who came, the Jews who came to request that Jesus be crucified, they asked to ask them which of the Jesus, because for your information, there were two Jesuses in prison. One of them was called Jesus Barabbas. Jesus Barabbas was a criminal, well-known criminal. And so when they were asking, when they said, look, give us Jesus so we could crucify him, the king had to seek for clarification from those agitators. Which of the Jesus did you want? So it's not impossible that somebody is talking about Jesus, maybe talking about that criminal. There was Jesus Barabbas, a criminal. In fact, it is, according to history, there are about 3 or 4 very popular high priests in the days of Jesus that were also Jesus. Of course, there are variations to it. It's just like today, I have a cousin called Mohammed. I have another one called Ahmad. Then there is one called Ahmed. There is one called Amadu. So there are many variations. So the name Jesus or Yeshua, the equivalent in Hebrew, had a lot of variations. Even the name Joshua is also another name for Jesus, in case you don't know. And that brings me to the second Jesus, the one who was the successor of Moses, who became the leader of the children of Israel after the death of Moses, was also called Jesus or Joshua. Okay? Then there was another Jesus who was a companion of Paul, the great apostle Paul. You remember him? So he had a companion. One of his companions was called Jesus. Okay? And then there was one Jesus called Jesus, the son of Mary. And because he was the central figure of Christianity, this is the one who was called Jesus, the son of Mary. He was the central figure of Christianity. Many people will think once you say Jesus, you are referring to him. No. There is a need for us to clarify. Okay? So just that you are Jesus, may I say, that was not enough. Let me come to some contemporary experiences that we have today. You know that when you go to the bank, they will ask for your name. So they are not just asking for your name. Somehow to distinguish you, if you go to the bank and say, I'm a cow, for instance, they will need perhaps a surname. So you will be a cow, da 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 da. Okay? But then you could also have somebody who is a cow, da da da, especially, exactly the same name with your name. You know that? And you could even have 2 or 3 other names. So it could be Akao, Tanimu, Tanko. And another person could come with the exact line of names. Akao, Tanimu, Tanko. So the bank will be in a dilemma. So having your name was not enough. Having your surname is not enough. That's why the bank will now say, give us a thumbprint. In those days, thumbprint, I don't know, but I'm told that no 2 people have the same thumbprint. And then nowadays, it's not enough they will ask you to sign if you are literate. So yes, you sign Akau Tanimu Tanko, and then your signature is different from the other Akau Tanimu Tanko. But then, what if your signature look the same and a bit confusing? So they now going to what they call biometrics. You have to have biometrics, right? So you could have the biometrics, but that's not enough. They also go to like something like facial recognition. Or they want to get your iris, the very center of your eye. I learned that perhaps every individual has a different set of iris. So the bank have to subject you to a lot. In fact, it's not enough nowadays. In Nigeria, they will ask you for what they call bank verification number, BVN. And no two people have the same BVN. And they insist that you will have a different BVN, your wife will have a different BVN, your children will have different BVN. Okay? Then beside that, there's another thing they call NIN. What is NIN again? Pardon me, I've been absent for some time, so I don't know. I think it's a kind of verification number that is imprinted in every international passport or identity also of an average Nigerian. If you go to other countries, they have these numbers that are very unique to them. So when you come and you are telling me you are Tanimu Tanko, I will need to verify by first checking, okay, Tanimu Tanko, the way you arrange your names, because if you are Tanko Akau Tanimu, or you are Tanimu Tanko Akau, the way you arrange the name is very important. For those of you that speak French, you know that name arrangement is very important. And in some cases, they will tell you, when you're writing your name, your surname must be in bold letters. So arrangement of name, I will check it out. Then I will check your thumbprint or your biometrics. I will check your facial features. I will check your BVN. I will check your what? Your NIN. I remember one of these days, one of my South African daughters was telling me that this is a very personal identification number as a South African, and she would not like just anybody to get to know about it. So any country you go, they have a way where they can identify an individual without mistaking the person that they want. And I think this is where I want to stop today. That next week when I come, or a few days time, I'm going to come out with another video that will bring out the identity, or how you will know when you say Jesus. There are certain things you have to follow for you to be able to convince us that yes, the Jesus you are referring to is the Jesus that I'm also referring to. You are not mistaking him for another Jesus. So if you come and say you are Jesus, and you cannot fit all those, biometrics, facial recognition, your NIN is different, your BVN is different, maybe your maiden name, your mother's maiden name is different. That's another thing they insist nowadays, your mother's maiden name. If they are different, I beg to say that we cannot be talking about the same person. It is very obvious. And so in my interrogation with this my Muslim friend, I told him we don't have a reason to be angry with each other. because the Jesus that you are talking about is not the same Jesus that I'm talking about. There's no need to flex our muscles, And he said, wow, now I see. Then it also means perhaps that the God that we are talking about is different from the God you are talking about. I say, yeah, most likely. you know. So I want to appeal uh, to apologetics out there. There's no need for bringing about tension in the community. There's no need for exchanging abuses. There's no need for raising voice. There's no need, because we are not talking about the same person. It is like you say, I have a Mercedes Benz car. You also have a Mercedes Benz car. My own is maroon color. Yours is maroon color. My own is also year of make. Yours is the same. But you see, those cars have a chassis number. They have what do you call it? There's even a registration number. Many things will distinguish your cute Mercedes with my cute Mercedes. So there's no need to fight. Let's even assume the keys decide to open all the doors, but there are things that would distinguish it. So that is why I am not one of those who want to respond to any accusation or any threat or raise my voice simply because of what I'm saying. No, we are not. I understood that we're not talking about the same Jesus. And when I come your way next time, uh, I assure you, a number of you will agree with me that there is no reason for comparison, and there is no reason for what do you call it, raising our voices or trading our views in any way. I by the mercies and the love of the Jesus that I do believe, I want to say, God bless you, God keep you, God prosper you. Uh, and I want to say that if you believe in Jesus, make sure that it is the Jesus that I am talking about. Next week, we will see what happened. God bless you. I love you so much. And yeah, shalom.